Senator Moody.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you for being here. I think it is wonderful that we are doing this hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I believe this is the Help Committee's first HHS budget hearing in more than 2 decades. And certainly, I don't think this afternoon has been easy on you. And we are grateful that you're willing to answer the hard questions.
Thank you, Senator Moody.
And have the difficult discussions, because if I heard you correctly, the 60%, 50%, whatever increase in the last 5 years in your agency, you said reflected or resulted in people getting sicker and more people dying. And we have to do more than just think throwing money at something is going to solve a problem. And I am grateful for everyone that's stepping up on the cabinet and saying, I want to do this job in a deliberate way that's going to deliver for the people, that means more than just coming here to Washington and throwing money at problems and spending taxpayer monies without giving a lot of deliberate forethought to results. And I think that's what you've been trying to say here today, and I appreciate you tackling this, because not many people would want to brave this job, certainly at this moment in time. And as our nation is spiraling out of control and more debt, and more spending, we have got to be responsible for the future stability and success of this country. So thank you. I start there. I also note that in some of the numbers that we saw in this proposal, there wasn't much information in terms of asking for more money. I'm assuming that you're not asking for more money specifically related to the FDA, and I wanted to focus on a few things. And I believe your approach is probably going to be, how can we be better? How can we use the resources we have to do more for the American people, deliver on their health without spending more money? And one of those ways, I believe, in the FDA would be to tackle Chinese illicit vapes. I think 60% of their vape market that are in no way regulated. We have no idea what are in these things, chemical-ridden vapes all over the United States, being bought by all of our kids. I would ask that you dig into that and look at that. I know the FDA has been backlogged, and the excuses kept coming out on why they weren't following through and enforcing this thing. Meanwhile, we have more and more kids that are vaping these chemicals, and we have no idea what's in them. So would you look at that with your department using the resources that you're asking for today?
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking at it right now. And during the Biden administration, the FDA slow-walked the approvals for U.S. vaping companies. And the U.S. vaping companies, in my view, were acting very responsibly. They were putting chips in their vapes that would make sure that young people could not use them. They were giving good information about addiction. And they had very extensive labels. They really went out of their way not to make it attractive to children. They were slow walk, so they're off the market. And in order to fill the vacuum, hundreds of Chinese companies came in with these colored, beautifully, attractive
Sour grape,
comic books, watermelons, all these flavors are targeted to kids. They had video games on the vapes that lure kids into addiction.
So you're in tune with that.
We are going to wipe them out.
Thank you.
We're going to get rid of all of them.
Thank you for that commitment. As a mother of a teenager, and on behalf of all moms of teenagers, I know that vaping was going on in some of even our elementary and middle schools. We thank you. Using the resources that are given to you, if we were just more deliberate and aggressive in what we're doing within the agency, I think we can make a huge difference. And I want to direct your attention to one more important issue. One of the things that drives me crazy is when nonsense regulations are on the books and they have no benefit whatsoever, but yet they're on the books and businesses are trying to comply with them. In our citrus industry, our orange juice producers, there is a regulation that requires a certain sugar content. It's called a BRIC standard. It doesn't affect quality or nutrition at all. In fact, our oranges now that are being produced in Florida produce slightly less sugar. But because of this arbitrary standard, producers of orange juice in Florida have now had to start importing from foreign companies and foreign nations oranges into our country to mix with our products to deliver orange juice. The standard, it doesn't affect quality or
Raise the sugar content in the orange juice.
we want to lower the sugar content that's required by this regulation. I'm sure you would not disagree with that. But would you look into an interim final rule that would lower that slightly to save the orange juice industry domestically?
Yeah, why don't you call Heather Flick, who's popular, Hannah Henderson, this week, and we will act on that as quickly as we can.
Again, using the resources we have, just being smarter in our approach, we can do a lot to save a once thriving industry. Thank you.
Thank you.